Well, the Clintons reportedly are saying that Trump didn't do anything funny in the Epstein files. This is YouTube, so I can't be too specific. So they're saying it, and Maxwell's saying it. Now, up until this point, of course, the Trump-supporting people would not believe a single word that the Clintons have ever said, and would believe they're 100% guilty. Now that they've said this, they're going to use that as evidence that he's innocent. It's how dumb this duopoly programming is. Because people will completely disagree with every single word another person says because of the letter next to their name. This person's pure evil. This person's pure good. Okay? And so everything that other person says shouldn't be listened to. And the second that other person agrees with their side, rather than think, oh, wait a minute, that's a little strange. This person I said was pure evil and shouldn't be trusted is agreeing with my guy. And instead of that, they use that as leverage. It's the craziest thing. It's like I said, the whole RFK thing, he's thought of to be an anti-vaxxer. He's widely, at least by the more like liberal-leaning people, they like to call him an anti-vaxxer, whether he is or whether he isn't. I said before he got put in that position that he was in that position to leverage people into doing the opposite of what he's saying, and that's kind of what's happening right now. If you have somebody that's as skeptical as he is, or appeared to be, and he says it's okay, well, of course, it must be okay, right? And again, the people who were staunchly against him, if they start agreeing with them, they'll use that as leverage rather than rethink their stance. It's got people messed up. I mean, it's pretty obvious that the Clintons and Maxwell are just looking for free passes. Please don't hurt me. Just like when Trump said, I wish her well. That was his way of saying, please don't hurt me. Let's not hurt each other. These people are guilty. I don't know how people keep falling for this. I just got an argument with someone I've known for 31 years. I didn't move him 1 millimeter. Not a bit. Not with photographs, not with links, screenshots. He just disavowed all of it. It's a weird fixation. I've never seen anything like it. He literally used the excuse of because it's on the internet. Well, what isn't on the internet? This video is about to be on the internet. That's crazy. Everything is on the internet. Do I need to mail him something? Handwritten on papyrus? And before then, you could fake photographs. Stalin was known for removing people from photographs who he didn't like, or he may have removed from this planet. So what do you trust? It just shows you he's just going a roundabout way of saying, I want to believe what I want to believe, and I'm just going to deny everything else that you show me. Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, how do you work with that? What do you do? And it's not just the Trumpist. It's, both of them. If you look at what the Democrats and the Republicans were back, just years ago. You could go back 30 to 40 years. Just look at the change. The stuff that they were adamantly against that they're now fine with. People losing their mind on how immoral the Bill Clinton was supporting Trump. People hating on George W. Bush because of what kind of a warmonger he was, support Obama and Biden. I don't know how to fix this. Because this is the age of information, and they won't look for it. If it disagrees with them, well, it's fake. You know, and what's funny is I try to get him and the other guy to, well, show me what your sources are. Or what way would you like me to relay the information I have, because you're disavowing screenshots and links and everything else. So how can I get the information to you, and what are your sources so we can look at them? Because at the same time they said, oh, well, I don't listen to this. I get my information from all these different sources. Okay, what sources? No answer. Fox News, Newsmax, ONN. That's where they get it. And again, like I said, when the liberal media agrees with them, they use that as leverage. To me, what should click in their brain is like, oh, I'm being had. I'm being played. I mean, it should have been a dead giveaway when that pretend, and I'll say it outright, pretend assassination attempt happened. And you had all these people who hated Trump and thought he was the devil. All of a sudden, they had an issue with that. Even if you're a Republican, even if you're a staunch Trump supporter, that should have given you pause. Like, wait a minute. Let me step back from my own feelings for a second. If you believed what you're saying about him, you should not be upset that this happened. You should only be upset that it missed. It doesn't make any sense. That should have been a dead giveaway, and it wasn't. And of course, they're still passing the woke word around. If there's anybody like a libertarian or a leftist of any kind using the word woke as a disparaging term, you need to stop. You need to stop doing that. And I've been saying this for years. They've let somebody trample all over a word that really needs to be used right now, because people need to wake up. And now that you say that, you're like, oh, you want me to be woke? And they think of these dumb liberals and everything with worshiping the Democratic Party. They're not woke. They're asleep, just like the Trumpists are asleep and the traditional Republicans are asleep. That's not being woke. That's not woke at all. It's asleep. You changed beds, you're still asleep. Anybody voting for the establishment is not woke. So I got my new term, Asleepism. Because that's what's going on right now. It's like somebody talking in their sleep, this nonsense, and you're shaking them and trying to get them to wake up, and they won't wake up. And, reportedly, who knows, because in their defense, there are a lot of lies going on. There is Photoshop. There is things that everybody refers to as AI. I don't know how much of it actually deserves that exact term, but there's supposed to be now allegedly, I need to actually have this up where I can read it, but supposedly some kind of religious connotation. Have it here in a second. The factory is very congesting. Yeah. Here we go. Clash report. U.S. commanders across more than 30 military bases told troops the Iran war is part of God's plan and linked it to Armageddon. I want you to let that kind of marinate for a little bit. Now, if you're an atheist, you got your own feelings about that. But maybe, even if you are an atheist, you know something about the stories of the Bible and this and that. A commander said Trump was anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon. The Military Religious Freedom Foundation says that it received over 110 similar complaints describing the war as biblically sanctioned and a sign of the Christian end times. Now again, You don't have to be a Bible scholar to deduce what role that would make Trump. What role that would make the man who lived in the 666 feet tower, who owns property on 666 Fifth Avenue, who inherited the bulk of his wealth from his grandmother, Elizabeth Christ Trump, probably pronounced Christ, but spelled Christ, who died 6666. Revelations mentions something about the mouth of a lion. If you look at the Israeli flag, it's not the Israeli flag, but a lot of very patriotic Israel memes and signs and things like that. It's got a lion on it. If you look at MAGA, it's very commonly got a lion on it. If you look at the rebellion in Iran, the difference in the flag, it's got a lion on it. If you look at, there's a lot of good people that's waved it, but there is even the theory about the Star of David not really being a Star of David, being a Star of Moloch. It's a pretty common theory. I haven't looked into it enough myself, but it's a six-pointed star. It has 6 triangles. Contained in its design is 666. And you could go on. There's a lot more things like this. Even, from things that are really odd to things that, by themselves wouldn't mean anything, but piled onto all the rest kind of means something. I mean, my God, the presidential limousine is called the Beast. It's something to think about. I'm not even a churchgoer. But this is something to think about if you still have the ability to think. I expect, that this guy, I've known him 31 years. Before it's over, he'll delete me, more than likely. At this point, I'm used to starting over. I'm used to people throwing me aside for nothing. Even relationships. I got a whole set of videos to make about that. So whatever, I'll deal with it. Doesn't mean I like it. I'm okay with it, but I can deal with it. I can handle it. I figured it's just a matter of time anyway. But it's time to wake up. It's time for people to stop besmirching the word woke, because people need to wake up. You're just scaring them every time you say that. And you heard it here. It's a gibberish word, but it's my word, Asleepism. That's what's going on right now. Wake up, people. Quit fighting people that you've known for decades to defend this garbage on the Hill. And I said that last year, last administration. I said it before Trump's first administration. These people are garbage. Your neighbor matters. People you've known for years matter. Your relatives matter. Your friends matter. These people in these government offices, they do not care about you. Wake up. They don't care about you. In some cases, not only do they not care if you die, they want you to die. They want you to have a short life and die in medical debt so that your next of kin don't inherit anything but debt. And that keeps their little feudal system going. But sure, fight somebody you've known for 30 friggin' years. And it started for him celebrating the death of that Iranian leader, because of all the bad things that he did from sources. Now, here's the thing, too. I should sign this, throw this in here. I'm one of these people. There's a lot of leftists, and I don't completely blame them for this. I'm not making fun of them for it. But it's something I wouldn't do. It's a little hasty, if you ask me. They sort of took Putin's side. They sort of took Assad's side. They, Maduro. They take the other side. I'm neutral on that because I don't know. Like, I don't think that they should have done that with Maduro. I don't think they should have done that with Assad. I don't believe what's being told about all of these people that I mentioned, the Iranian leader, because the sources are liars. But that also doesn't mean that I'm just automatically going to think there's some kind of angel. I'm not. If I had my way, the Iranian guy would not be dead because I don't know for a fact anything bad about him. If anything that has been said about him is true, sure, put him in a box. I'm fine with that. I've never liked Vladimir Putin. But to make him a bad guy and support the U.S. presidents, count the bodies, folks. I tried to tell somebody that. I think it's a comedian who has a show. He did this little special on, I don't want to name who it is, but on Putin. And just ranted and raved about how awful of a leader he was and how terrible and brutal he was. And I'm thinking, I have not had a president in my lifetime, I don't believe, that's hasn't had more bodies than he has. I mean, does that not count? It's this weird, I think it's what they call American exceptionalism, which I thought meant something completely different, and maybe it does, and I'm using it wrong now. It's like somebody over in another country could knock off 10 people, and that's awful. And then somebody over in this country, one of our leaders, could knock off 10,000 people, and they're just... I don't understand that. You still got libs that they love to do the little Civil War things, saying bad things about the Confederacy. You know why? Because they don't give a damn about how the Union soldiers mass murdered Native Americans. That doesn't count. Because they're not instructed to be mad about that. Again, they're asleep. If you're woke up, you know not to celebrate either one of them. You know to take the side of the people, always. Who do I stand with? The Ukrainian people, the Russian people, the Iranian people, the 3 or 4 good Israelis, the Palestinian people. Unless there are some of them that are brutal, like people have said, I wouldn't stand with them. And this is not setting on the fence. This is logic and being consistent. And I'm just not going to jump on some kind of, I don't know what they do. This is just trying to oppose somebody else, just trying to make a conflict where there isn't one. It's supposed to be neutral until you know what side to take. And again, you take the people's side always. So, like with the Palestinians, of course, you have any issue with Israel, they say you're Hamas, you're pro-Hamas. I have seen more decency out of Hamas than the IDF, and that's because I've seen more decency out of a rabid dog than I have the IDF and the Israeli government, and a lot of the citizens. But as far as saying that I'm with them or they're my ally, I don't know enough. Because the bad things I've been told are from dishonest sources. And I don't know about the other things. I just don't know. I keep an open mind. Remember when people used to say that? I haven't heard that phrase in a long time. But anyway, this wasn't supposed to run this long. Put that in your little dictionary, Asleepism, and stop besmirching the word woke, because we need to wake up.